All right, all right. Greetings, everyone. Anyone. Children of Mother Orsic, we greet you in the name of Alleluia. Miss Ria St. Lou is, and we don't mean saint of the Catholic pedophile church. The main institution that used law to exterminate the culture and religion of our ancestors. I am, who knows what Irish really means, but my grandparents came from Ireland here when they were children, and my other grandparents came from Italy. So Maria said we preferred it that way. I am nothing racially, materially, as far as business. So I can't really say I'm Irish. And I would never say I'm American. I would now say that I am an esoteric Hitlerist and that I happen to remember my life before I came here. And I am the son and student of Maria Orsic. And on that note, let us begin our reading because today is February 27th, 2026. We're leading energetically to the anniversary of the departure of Miguel Serrano on this earth, from this earth matrix, and to explain that his life in the matrix, he was born in 1917, so he would have died, right? Are you ready to put your thinking cap on? So what happened to the people who were killed in the end of the world in this nuclear war? What happened when the Matrix repeated? Well, they were offered to plug in and see what happens. And 99.9% of them said no, never. Because us in the West, white Christian privilege, you don't understand hell. Weeping, wailing, gnashing of teeth. You're like, yeah, I do. My pet died. Maybe a sibling died. But it's not the same as having your country, your state, your city, and your family all destroyed at once in a very unfair, beyond rational. I mean, it's 2026 and we're about to engage. I mean, Maria said, just relax. It's okay. Let's just lay out what's happening. We have clown face president representing who? We say representing the black magicians of the process church who go back to the late 40s, early 50s. That's why they're in charge. And they're the disciples of Aleister Crowley. Or Crowley, for everyone to have such respect for him. And Maria's here with me. She said, I have no respect for him. I don't care how many mountains he fucking climbed. I don't care what he wrote. I don't care how many books he wrote. She said, everyone has the right to not like someone. And he put forth his hand to shake my hand, and I laughed in his face and walked away. I wasn't going to let him touch me. See, no one knows about Maria's life in on Earth. It's crazy, but I'm continuously, shown how people, you know, let me slow down. I'm shown how I knew people that I now know in my life right now before I came here. And like one of the things that inspires me is it's just amazing that the people reflect Maria. Like we've been doing this almost for a year, 5 days a week, really 6 days a week, and then we also do our ritual, and it's crazy. I like many years ago was shown by Maria how she lived in this house that was, I guess, rented for her by the National Socialist Workers' Party, by Himmler and Hitler themselves, set her and Sig and any of the other girls. Dawn was there a lot with them, helping them. Dawn, we don't talk about Dawn a lot, but Dawn's a very beautiful woman that is also a goddess in what we would call like Australia and very southern, getting close to the South Pole. This is Maria's friend named Dawn, and she was from Vienna. They met her in Vienna at the dance studio. And Maria talked to me a lot about this house in Germany that was 8 miles away from the Externstein rock formations. And she showed me like one time they were gone for months. They came back, a literal snake was in their bed. And she said, believe rumors didn't just start becoming interesting to the masses. But, from my newsletters, there was outrageous sort of tabloid articles written about me. Once I kind of hit the Berlin cosmopolitan mainstream, which happened by Himmler and our friend Hess setting up a series of radio interviews where I would discuss mainly the newsletter and what I was teaching in the newsletter, because I was basically being put on trial, as a antichrist witch that is in Germany to turn the National Socialist Party into a pagan festival of fun. So she said that's how I would say it. And what I'm trying to get to is a friend of mine, I call my sister. She sent me like okay, I almost forgot. But in this, a couple times, Maria brought me there, like seeing in her memory the house in Germany. It was in the woods. and the trees around it and how she would walk around. And she brought me there at night, showing me several times she brought me there, but once was to show me the security that Hitler had ordered around their house. And like I said, she like, the stir was the whole sex magic teachings, that this was anti-Christian to tell people to enjoy themselves. Well, in this, she said what was funny is we had to tell Himmler, um, get remove the security from our house, or we leave and go back to Vienna, because your security is spying on us, peeping in on us constantly. And she's like, I told him, you know, you don't know the fucking witches that you're messing with. You think we don't know that people are fucking trying to look in our windows at night? She said, I told them, tell them anything they want to see, they can go buy in a magazine in the center of Berlin. You don't need to look at us. There's plenty of this going on. Open your eyes, see the lies right in front of you. This is what the authentic, honest, like she said, doesn't mean we like every single person that's honest about their sexuality, but it does mean that we like you more than someone who's not, right? You understand that? Do you understand why this is so important to the world order control, right? And how they want to keep it on a very individual, one on one basis. They don't want anyone putting their orgasmic power together, because Maria guarantees me this is like a law of energy. It's not twice as powerful, it's 3 times as powerful. There's always multiple yous. I like that, yous. But there is only one actual measurement, right? And we're looking for the science of measurement that we can say, okay, um, it's one thing to imagine a reality inside of yourself. Outside of yourself, if we don't all go by the truth, we're all fucked together. If that's why the communities, cities, structures, countries even on Venus are small. It doesn't mean everyone has to get along. It doesn't mean everyone has to, share wives or something crazy. And that would be crazy, because what we're talking about is something so specialized and specific that it's our religion. I had no idea. Like when this blonde Missouri River goddess was telling me she's going to teach me who I was before I came here, I had absolutely no clue where it was going. And it took me years to understand how it made sense. Because automatically, whatever brainwash, whatever you were born into clicks in, and you're like, this doesn't make sense to me. Well, let me tell you, that's exactly what we're trying to do, is trying to change what makes sense. Because that's what Maria did. She's like, and then we'll get to the reading. And I'm just kind of floating around here. But the beginning was this: Joseph, you are eternal. and know everything about yourself. So there's no need for any God to reveal anything to you. I was like, huh. And she just kept every ritual saying to me, look at me. You were somebody, especially to me, before you came here. And I'd be like, okay. But at the same time, I was telling my friend, like Mindy, it's new to me. I'm agreeing intuitionally. I told her before, like, you're so beautiful. Who would disagree with you? Not just, your face and your hair or whatever. You're like the vibration around you. I used to tell people, before I knew she was Maria, I was like telling the truth, but just in the same way, kind of fucking with people. Like, I met a goddess, the Missouri. She says she's the Missouri River goddess. And some of the friends I had, it like kind of pissed them off. Like, are you fucking with me? What are you saying? You for real? I'm like, I am for real. But I remember telling them, I don't know how to explain it, but she's like the happiest person I've ever met. The vibe around her is like the happiest I've ever known. She is the Venusian Missouri River Goddess. Okay, we're going to get to our reading and we're going to hit our rune of the night. And we want to say, remember, recover, return in Maria Orsic's name. And for Irene, for Miguel Serrano on this February 27th, 4 a.m. And Heil all las Lu Ja way. Right? The her of him. From Miguel Serrano, Notes, Book of the Resurrection. The her of him. Let's get the cat. The her of him. We are coming down from the sphere of green light. First, to the inaudible music of the black sun. Then, to the audible music of the sun of gold. And from its light, which surrounds us, we have managed to extract that the externalized woman does not have a soul. She's AI. Or a pre-existence, which would make her immortal. Because she was projected. This knowledge drives her to suck in the man, drawing him into herself, repeating the original act, but in the opposite way, as an even more obscure act. He will become the sun, prolonging within the species the possibility of the eternal return, the turnings of the wheel, so that the hope of reintegration can continue. And the longing, she perpetuates herself in reproduction, conserving the increasing tenuous hope of resurrection and of becoming immortal. However, solely through his immortality can she become immortal. This mystery is revealed only to a few in the initiation of the Grail. That stone which fell from the ray of green light, that cup of eternal life. There are 3 types of people, but there are 2 types of women. The seductress, who wishes to go on dancing outside so as to imagine herself alive, and with a soul, enticing the warrior in order to desecrate him. This is the woman of the manipulated man. And she who places her eternity in the hands of her lover, who dies so that he may live, because she believes in him with faith and love, imagining that if he regains his eternity, he will make her immortal too. Whoever has the good fortune to meet this woman should not respond to her with loyalty and honor, and should one day try and return through the walls of, did I say should not? I kind of caught myself. Whoever has the good fortune to meet this woman should respond to her with loyalty and honor, and should one day try and return through the walls of transparent ice beyond the cold and the storm, because she has staked her immortality on his. Woe betide the one who, having received the gift of eternity in the cup of death, was not loyal to her, and was not able to bring her back to life. There is only one her for each him. She has been singled out for him in some register of the universe. Back on Venus. This cannot be changed, because she is the her who came out of the egg of him. In the turning of the wheel of eternal return, it is not always given to them to meet. One or other might arrive late or too early, but if they do manage to meet, everything must be put at stake to bring her back to life. And it is a crime to continue losing lives in other non-essential searches, because no one can succeed in replacing her. The way of return, the way of return is a hard one. Here is the song of the wayfarer. O Lucifer, there never was a passage, and no one since earliest times has ever discovered it, neither by sea nor by land. This slender thread of crystalline water, wind flashing green light. This sighing of his breast this way is agonizing. Deep are the waters of death. Where, O Lucifer, shall we cross this immense sea? With Lucy Bell, we have lit this fire, which will never go out, and which leads us to a superhuman, irreversible destiny. A superhuman, irreversible destiny. All right? And now let's hit our rune. Well, let's take a real quick break. Okay, for tonight's rune, we are going to present to you the rune Heil on KILaum. KILaum. It is very much like I believe it is the Fior, the Fior, except it has one less arm. So it's a straight line with one arm going like this. So it's kind of Isis and Sig victory with the healing. Healing from the victory of Isis, who was what? Able to resurrect her husband. And we'll start here from Adolf Hitler, Ultimate Avatar. Believe me, I wish I was a better reader. I'm trying. It took me 14 years to understand any of this. And I had to read it many, many, many times to even understand a rhythm in my head for such words. I had to sit and think about how is this supposed to be said. Leading up to kill Kyle on kaum, Kaum, rune, the kaum rune. This rune says your blood is your most costly treasure. And what does that mean, class? Your memory is your most costly treasure because we are looking for the memory of the blood, the memory of the ancestors. It's just that simple. And it's represented in this matrix as living blood, vibrational cells, the egg, right? Remember he said, I've seen countless pairs of eggs going up from the demiurge. Well, you also are God over yourself, sending out pairs of countless eggs. They're called cells. And each cell contains the whole story, right? So let us start here as I pull the plug out of the headphones, right? Maria's like, come on, bitch some more, son. Bitch some more. Okay, I'll bitch some more. But I'll also read this to you, right? We have seen that there's different levels of people. All right. One is called the Vira. It's like the man who's here being initiated into trying to be a god, right? Just to give you a little definition. And Divya is a god, a man who is a god before he came into the matrix. Matrix. We have seen the exiled Vera from Ultimate Avatar, page 304. We have seen the exiled Vera has more than one body. the worlds, heavens, in the Cathar terminology, the worlds by transiting, combating, find themselves, the Vera, find themselves within the body of the archetype Manu as a servant of the demiurge, right? They find themselves in this Christian order. Within the circle of circles, everything repeats like echoes of an archetypical note. Let me read it again. Within circle of circles, within the circle of circles, everything repeats like echoes of an archetypical note. Okay, so you with me? Thus, the body of the Divya will be made up of many different bodies, like planes of matter spirit and matter material, for those who dare enter into the world of the demiurge. For him, the body of earthly matter must possess within it an appropriate organ with which to connect with the astral body. Okay, you getting this? Within the circle of circles repeating, echoes an archetypical note. Thus, the body of the Divya, the man who was a god who became a man to come into the matrix. Thus, because of this archetypical note that's echoing, the body of the Divya will be made up of many different bodies, like planes of matter spirit and matter material, for those who dare to enter into the world of the demiurge Jehovah, Christianity. For him, the body of earthly matter must possess within it an appropriate organ with which to connect with the astral body, embryonic through atrophy and forgetting, being able to now recreate it, resurrect it, invent it, as well as immortalize it, unite it with an even subtler mental body. Another organ key is found within the astral body, making it possible to unite with his monad, the true self, with someone who remains waiting on the edge of a fountain. Someone who remains waiting on the edge of a fountain. This organ is the Thor rune, to which corresponds the letter TH of the name Thul, or the rune of return with a face to celestial Hyperborea, keeping the eye so indicated in this rune, the Thor rune, in the Futark of Wotan, Odin, so as not to be absorbed by the inspirations and eaten by the demiurge, Lord of Darkness. Thereby man is reborn in various worlds at the same time. Each world will be represented by one of his bodies, found present in all of them, even without knowing it, since he is aware of one only, an earthly one. Only when finding the key to developing his linga sarira, his linga sarira, or his astral body. Let me read again. Only when finding the key to developing his astral body. This is Maria Orsic's ritual. This mushroom ritual meditation is the key for our people to developing your astral body. Only when finding the key to developing his astral body will the warrior of Wotan be able to open the gate to communicate with the mental plane, able to live in more than two worlds. One becomes ubiquitous because he will be we knows. This has been called astral travel. It is the way of the reverse swastika of esoteric Hitlerism, the road of Ing, the road of retracing the involution. Retracing the involution. It is the return to Hyperborea and the way of resurrection of the Veras. The hero will go from world to world, from sky to sky, from body to body, passing through all the planes of manifestation of the demiurgic plasmation. And each one must retrieve a organ, and in each one must retrieve an organ, a key, a scale to discover the passage, the little breach, able to make the leap into the void of resurrection. Pure mental creation, invention of the non-existent flower, even though more real than all the other flowers of the gardens of this whole world. In the language of the science of Nordic Hyperborea, one has built the bridge of the Asir, the hanging bridge uniting all the castles, the true selves, allowing entry into them. This is the rainbow of Wotan, and so the hero has been converted into a pontifex, being a bridge himself. The Vira has transmuted into Divya, and he is Chakravarti, Lord of all the chakras, all his castles. He is Tolku. He is Melchizedek. KILaum, kaum, the rune. It's like a K missing the bottom leg sticking out. Your blood is your most costly treasure. Your blood is your most costly treasure. And we'll be right back.